You know, they say original video concepts get views, but frick that. You know what I'm gonna do is the second most cliche Pikmin ranking video ever, except this time it's in the form of an actual tier list. Today I'm gonna be ranking every single Pikmin enemy, except the Hey Pikmin ones because I don't think they're on the list, except for whatever this is, which I don't know what that is, but it's going in S tier. Hold on, let me immediate S tier for whatever this is. Anyway, yeah, let's just head into the video. First off, this is gonna be alphabetical probably. So we got the Anode Beetle right here. I like the Anode Beetle. Anode Beetle's pretty cool. It's easy enough to be killed by purples, with a little bit of risk, and it's a lot safer to kill it with yellows, but it's tougher to actually hit it. I'm gonna put it in B tier. Very interesting concept for an enemy, and I think it does its job pretty well. Now, we got the Anode Dweevil. I don't like the dweevils very much. Anode's probably my least favorite. It's going at the bottom of D tier. And now we got the, what's it called, Antenna Beetle? I'm gonna try my best to remember all these guys' names, but there's some I'm just not gonna remember, like this guy, but he's going in S tier anyway. Antenna Beetle, I don't like very much. It's just annoying to kill, honestly. It's weirdly tanky, it disrupts your treasure gauge, and nah, below Anode Dweevil. Arachnode, immediate F tier. I hate this thing. You can only, like, effectively kill it with wings, and on occasion, rocks or yellows. Pretty much any other Pikmin just gets stuck in the web every single time, and most of the time the other two do too. And the wings are really the only thing that are effective on it. This would be fine if it was not required to kill an Arachnode to access the winged Pikmin in the first place. I just don't like it. I have bad experiences with it. Now, we've got two different types of decorated cannon beetle. Oh yeah, that's the snow one. So we got this guy who shoots rocks. I don't like it very much. I'm gonna put it in F tier, just above the Arachnode. But it's just the fact they're the campy playstyle enemy. That's just the thing. They just sit there and they spit rocks at you, and they're annoying, and there's one at the top of the slope in Pikmin 2. And I just don't like them. The armored can't... I'm probably gonna leave the bosses out of this, and either on the boss tier list, which is going to be coming out at the end of Pikmis. By the way, if you don't want to miss the rest of that, go ahead and subscribe. But I'm going to leave the bosses out of this, so this guy, this guy, this guy. Not that guy, you're not a boss. This guy, you know, all those. Armor Cannon Beetle, leaving them out. Now, the Distant Tundra Decorated Cannon Beetle Larva, the guy that shoots snow, you're probably going to get like a mid to high D tier, because... And of course, this list is going to be ordered. Bulbman's the only guy that beats this little dude. But, yeah. I mean, come on, I had to do it. Yeah, I don't like this guy very much. All it really does is just sit there and shoot snowballs and be annoying. Not exactly my thing. Now, we have the Bearded Amp Rat, who I'm actually going to put right below the Anode Beetle for now. It's a really interesting concept for an enemy, and I think it's really cool. It can be annoying sometimes, and you can obviously just kill it with rocks like pretty much everything in Pikmin 3, but it's a really neat little enemy that I like a bunch. Now, we of course have the ever-classic Bullborb. This guy is a solid high A tier, maybe even a low S tier, though I'll consider that later on. The red Bullborb, or the spotted Bullborb, or whatever this guy's called, I don't actually know his official name, but I'm just going to call him the Bullboard for now. This guy is, of course, the Pikmin, poster enemy. It's, the classic guy, and I think he holds up really well. He's a really classic, tutorial enemy, and I especially like that for all, fully grown Bullborbs, they added the little eyes weakness, which is really neat, and shows you that, there's more depth to these creatures. Now we have the Bullborb larvae, which are going in F tier below the Arachnodes because I hate them so much. I am talking about this in pretty much every Pikmis video, in the Red Only Run, in the Boss tier list video, and now in this video. They take 5 frames to kill your Pikmin, and there's so many of them in the Empress Full-Black's fight, well, number 2 and 3 at least. They just start swarming you, and it's annoying and tedious to punch them repeatedly. It's just super frustrating when they just eat your Pikmin instantly. The bumbling Snitch bug is, in my opinion, probably a low D tier. Well, a high D tier, yeah. It's not too bad. You can kill it pretty easily. It's not like the swooping Snitch bug where it disrupts your team whenever it attacks. The bubbling snitch bug is honestly just kind of there. It doesn't do too much. Sometimes it gets a hold of a captain and then just like is annoying like that. It has an interesting quirk where it flies higher once it grabs the captain, which is a little weird because the swooping snitch bugs actually fly lower. And you would think the extra weight of the captains, because obviously they would weigh more than Pikmin. I don't know, Pikmin 2 is really weird with weight. But now we've got the calcified Crushblat, who, from my memory, is not on the boss's tier list, probably because the boss music doesn't really play when you fight it in Pikmin 3. I love the calcified Crushblat. It's gonna be high A tier, below the Bullborb. It's just such a creative little way to make an enemy that the rock Pikmin specialize in fighting. I mean, obviously, it can't really kill the rock Pikmin, but if you also have another type of Pikmin that you're fighting it with, like in mission mode, or you have to go around it, save it for later, do all that stuff, it's really neat. And the fact that once you get rid of all the crystal, you can actually fight it with other Pikmin, it's such a neat little enemy that I just love fighting every time. And on the other end of the spectrum, we have the Dirigibug. The careening Dirigibug is one of my least favorite enemies because it just has an attack pattern that's really annoying to deal with. I mean, sure, if you're good at the game, you can like knock it down and have it be blown up by its own bombs, but that very rarely actually happens to me because I'm not that good at the game. I'm still pretty good at Pikmin, I'd say, but you know. Yeah, careening Dirigibug, I just don't like it very much. It's never sounded right with me. Now we've got the silly little water dweevil. I don't know what you're called, but yeah, you're fine. You're just gonna go above the Anno Dweevil. I'm probably just gonna... Yeah, let's get rid of all the Dweevils now. We got the Fiery Dweevil, pretty classic. I'm gonna put him a little bit above. Munch Dweevil, I mean, you can actually beat him to death from the start, so just gonna put you there. Fiery Dweevil, you can do. Watery Dweevil, you never get an immunity to, and Anno Dweevil kills your Pikmin. And I think that'll be bottom of F tier. I hate you so much. Alright, now back to the good enemies. We have the Cloaking Burrownit. This guy's really interesting. I've noticed, because I was recording some of the Red Only run earlier, I swear my actual recording and editing schedule is so out of whack compared to how you guys are seeing these videos. I was recording the Cavern of Chaos portion of the Red Only run earlier, and I realized the Cloaking Burrownit has a really long range for how it can sense you, quite unlike the Creeping Chrysanthemum right here beside it. But the Cloaking Burrownit is interesting. It's obviously you've got the Joustmite down here, but the Cloaking Burrownit is pretty much the opposite of that, where its face is exposed, and I like the Burrownit. It's fun. I'm gonna put it in sort of a low B tier for now, right below this dude right here. And yeah, that's where he's just gonna sit for now. Creeping Chrysanthemum, I don't like very much, but I'll give it a low C tier. It's a really creative concept for an enemy, I'll give it that, but something about it I just don't really like it much. I can't really explain it. Now, the Armored Cannon Beetle Larva. The red one. I don't really know what it's called, but it's not the Decorated Cannon Beetle. But the Armored Cannon Beetle Larva, I actually really like because you can use its rocks and the magnetic properties of them to take it and other enemies out without your Pikmin. And I just think that's so fun. Just going around using its rocks to just kill things. I'm gonna put it above the Anode Beetle in B tier because I admittedly don't really like dealing with it too much, but it's precarious to fight, but it is also inversely pretty fun. And now we got, of course, the Desiccated Skitterleaf, who is going right there in F tier, right under you. It eats your Pikmin so fast, and well, the fact that there are so many in Wistful Wild that just can grab your winged Pikmin out of the sky somehow, I don't like it. And your winged Pikmin can't even insta-kill them. At least the Skitterleaves in 3 aren't as super sensitive to movement as they are in 2, because that would just be awful. Now, we've got the Doodlebug, who I'm gonna put in mid B tier just because it gives you an insane amount of Bitter Spray. You can get 4 bitter sprays from 1 doodlebug if you do the funny little spray duplication glitch, because you get 2 from 1 drop, and there's just so many in Frontier Cavern that I got 12. Well, I got 11 on my red only run because I messed up the glitch once. But it's just so much fun. Now, we've got the Spotty Bullbear, who I'm going to take into account both 2 and 3. But this guy, high F tier. Barely not making D tier just because of his regenerative abilities in Pikmin 2. I don't like the Spotty Bullbear. I don't know if that's controversial or not. I've seen accounts on Twitter posting about it, but I don't like this enemy. It's spooky is the thing. It's big and it's active and it regenerates in Pikmin 2, and it scares me, you know? Now we've got the Dwarf Red Bullborb, who is gonna go in... It's pretty classic. It's like one of the first enemies you ever really fight in pretty much any game, and I think you're gonna... Well, not in Pikmin 3. In Pikmin 3, you don't fight him until, like, Garden of Hope, but that's still, like, the first area you have real access to. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling right now, but I don't know quite where to place you. I guess I'm just gonna put you in, like, high C because it's weird. It's a fun enemy to fight, but I was also just playing Cavern of Chaos earlier, so that may have skewed my judgment a little bit. Something about the Dwarf Red Bullborb just makes him so hard to comprehend for me. Now we've got the Orange Dwarf Bullborb, who I'm gonna go ahead and actually put in, like, low A tier, because I think they're challenging, but not too challenging, because you can find a lot of them that are as sensitive as the Orange Bullborbs, but they're not as dangerous, so you really do get that feel of, like, a moderately sized challenge. Now we've got the Mammuta, who was on the boss's tier list, but I don't think I'm going to be counting you because you're not really like a boss. I'll go ahead and count Gulix because it's explicitly a boss in Pikmin 1 and then was never seen again. Mammuta was in Pikmin 2, so I'm just going to put you probably in, like, mid to high B tier. I like the Mammuta quite a bit. It's easy enough to take out, and it flowers your Pikmin, so once you have the Pluckaphone, it's a really neat little thing that you can use. Female Sheargrub is going to go in high B tier, just a little above the Mammuta. It's just satisfying to kill and bring back to base. Fiery Blowhog's a classic. Probably gonna go in, like, low B tier, above the Amprat. I have a few bad experiences with the Fiery Blowhog, but nothing too bad. Obviously, there's Pikmin 1 where fire gets kind of busted, but in Pikmin 2, you don't even really need red Pikmin to beat the majority of the game, as I've showcased before. So, yeah. And that's where the minority of the game comes in. We have the Fiery Bullblacks here. I don't know where to put the Fiery Bullblacks, but low D tier, just above the dweevils. It's easy enough to fight in the main series, but I don't like it. I don't like the Fiery Bullblacks. You either have to use reds for it, or you have to lure it into water, or you just beat it to death. That's pretty much the only options. You can, of course, kill them with purples with their stun ability, but it's a lot tougher and you have to keep whistling them. Or you can feed it white Pikmin, but, I mean, you're losing white Pikmin that way. It's just an annoying enemy, honestly. Now we've got the... What is this, like, winged Joustmite, like flying Joustmite? I don't know what it's called, but he's a funny little guy. He shows up, like, once in Twilight River, and then is never seen again. He's really underutilized, but I think high B tier, just above the female Sheargrub, just because it's a really neat take on the Joustmite that I like a bunch. And while we're at it, I'll go ahead and rank the Joustmite 2 if I can find you. Where did the Joust... There's the Joustmite. Okay. Yeah, Joustmite is probably, like, mid B tier. I like it more than the Burrowing, just because you have to, like, actually maneuver around it. And the Flying Joustmite is a really fun enemy because you can use wings to fight it, or you can throw Pikmin up on it, and it's just... They both feel like really, not tough, but more sort of complex enemies to fight. And then we got the Groink, who is, of course, going in above Bullborbs larvae because it's not too often that I actually lose Pikmin to the Groink. For some reason, a lot of its shots end up just like stunning my Pikmin, but there is always that fear that it's just gonna shoot and just like kill everything. Obviously, it regenerates, it has the face shield, it's pretty much just the perfect storm. It's almost like engineered to be the worst Pikmin enemy. It doesn't quite get there because we have the volatile Dweevil and Bullborbs larvae, but yeah, skipping the giant breadbug and Gulix because they're on the boss's tier list. And now we've got the greater jelly float. The jelly floats are interesting, but I don't enjoy fighting them as much as the Medusa Slurker. I'm gonna go ahead and put both jelly floats here. I find it more satisfying to take out a greater spotted jelly float, but I'm putting them both in C tier because I need to fill out C tier more. And also because, I don't know, they don't really gel with me. I'm very funny, please subscribe. Now we got the hairy Bullborb, who is a really interesting concept for an enemy, but isn't utilized all too much. Probably gonna put you in high B tier, not really going any higher than that. It has that little like mechanic where I think it takes more damage after half health once all its hair is gone, but you don't really get to see that because by that point you already have a bunch of Pikmin on it and it's already basically dead. Now we got the silly little crab dude, whose name I always forget, but I think it's like the Hermit Chromat or something. Correct! You can get annoying. You're another one of those campy type enemies, and I don't really like you all too much, but I do admit that Hermit Chromat is a really interesting kind of enemy. It shoots out and grabs your Pikmin, and if it gets one, it drags them back, like backs away into its hole. But if it doesn't grab one, it just straight up turns around and gives you an opening to attack. I've lost probably like, I don't know, 3 Pikmin to this guy over the years through like accidents and GameCube controls bad mechanics. But yeah, it's generally not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in high C tier just because I just find it a little annoying to fight. Honeywisp is interesting. I'd say I like Honeywisp. I'm gonna put it in C tier. I don't find it all too useful, especially when you've got eggs pretty much everywhere in most games, and you've got grass, you've got all these other things to help flower your Pikmin up. Mitites, I always love seeing Mitites. I'm gonna go ahead and put them in low A tier, just because I love seeing like all the nectar spill out and having just like that super easy way to refill all your Pikmin, and it's super satisfying to bring them all back. I do it every time. Just breaking open an egg and seeing Mitites for the first time is just so unsettling, but every subsequent time, after you just like throw a purple in there and you get all that nectar, it's just the best. Now we've got the iridescent flint beetle, who is a little bit of a jump scare whenever it pops up in Pikmin 3, but is a lot more manageable in 2. Obviously, it's not like super bad or anything, but I'm gonna put the iridescent flint beetle in high C tier and glint beetle mid C tier. Glint beetle is mostly just for treasures. If you do find one above ground, it gives you a lot of spicy spray, which is pretty cool, but it's really kind of underutilized, it feels like. Male sheer grub going in low C tier because it's really not as satisfying to fight as the females, because it actually does kill your Pikmin. Man at legs we're skipping for now because I hate it, and also because it's in the boss's tier list. And now we're on to the Medusa Slurker, who I'm gonna put in mid B tier, probably above the Mammuta. I'm actually gonna go ahead and move that guy down to like bottom B tier, kind of reconsidering my thoughts on you. But Medusa Slurker is interesting. It feels really like meaty to fight, and like whenever you hit it, it just feels so satisfying. That's pretty much all. It's just like it feels great to fight. Now I'm running out of time a little bit on this video, so I'm gonna speed run through all these guys. You are really underutilized, and I don't really like you that much compared to the Honeywisp. High D tier. Breadbug, S tier for obvious reasons. Not above that guy. That guy's just too cool. Orange Bullborb. I don't like Orange Bullborb, especially that part in Twilight River where he just like pops up, but like there's 3 of him. So like, funny clam dude. So underutilized they had to steal it and put it in New Super Mario Bros. 2. Really interesting concept, but right below Bumbling Snitch Bug. Peckish Aristocrab. really neat. I like it a lot, but it's really annoying to fight with our rock Pikmin. For that, I'm probably going to have to dock it a few points and put it in high C tier if it'll let me. Yeah, there we go. Fozbat. A Fozbat is also really interesting. It's sort of like the Dwarf Bullborbs to the Behemoth Fozbat, but they're divided like a lot more. Well, the Dwarf Bullborb is just like a normal enemy, and the Red Bullborb is more like a slightly bigger threat, but not too big. This guy is just like a joke, and the Behemoth Fozbat is an actual full-fledged boss. Behemoth Fozbat. What to do with you? You're interesting, but you're kind of annoying to fight, especially when there's like a ton of you in the Behemoth fight. Mid-C tier, below the jelly floats. Annoying fish dude who steals all your Pikmin and eats them. Mid-F tier. Puffstool. Puffstool's in the bosses. So we got the Puffy Blowhog. Puffy Blowhog is interesting. It can't really fight back against you is the thing. While the Withering Blowhog gets rid of your Pikmin's flowers, who low D tier. I hate you so much. The Puffy Blowhog is interesting in that it can't really do anything to you, you know? I'm gonna go ahead and I'll put it above the Fozbat, just because I just do kind of like seeing it. It's just a fun little dude. Little fiery dude. You're satisfying to fight. I'm gonna go ahead and plop you right above the Anode Beetle. And now we got the Whisker Pillar, skipping a few. I don't like the Whisker Pillar very much. I'm gonna put it just above the Orange Bullborb, because it can't kill your Pikmin, but it's annoying to deal with when you're trying to grind berries in 2. Now we got the Red Spectralid. The Spectralids they're weird. They don't give you nectar or spray 100% of the time like the honey wisps do. I'm probably going to go ahead and put them all in like bottom of C tier. I'm going to put the yellow ones there and the white ones there. I don't really know why I ordered them like that, but just personal preference, I guess. Now we've got the Scornets, who are a really interesting enemy. There's usually just a lot of them who attack in like organized sort of militaristic patterns, and just then in the Scornet boss fight, the Scornet Maestro boss fight, there's a bunch of Scornets that you have to deal with. They're really cool enemies that I like dealing with because it's just satisfying to kill a bunch of them. Right above the female Sugargrub. Now, skipping a few more, we've got the Shearwig, who is going to go in F tier. Yeah, right below the Spotty Bullbear. They regenerate health while they fly, and I mean, they do fly, and it's tough to deal with them with winged Pikmin because they spend half their time on the ground and then the rest of it in the air. It's just, I don't like them. They're just annoying. Little water dudes, they're pretty fun, but they annoy me quite a bit. Right above the male Sheargrub. But when they spit water on land when I'm trying to carry back a thing, it's really annoying, especially in Distant Tundra. Which, come to think of it, might be part of the reason I don't like Distant Tundra very much. Skitterleaf, I'll put it in like mid to high C tier. It's satisfying to kill, not too satisfying to bring back, because it doesn't really give you a lot, and you know, it doesn't really take many Pikmin to carry it. I'll go ahead and plop it there because it's just neat to take out and have something else to carry back. The Scutterchucks, I think they're called. I'm gonna put them in B tier probably, but where in B tier? Yeah, let's put it right above the Joustmite. It's really satisfying to just like throw 2 rock Pikmin in quick succession, break the crystal, and then kill it. It's so nice that I can get one shot by those. Now we got the Snowy Bullborbs, who are only ever like used in Frontier Cavern and maybe Subterranean Complex sub-level 1, though I try not to think about Subterranean Complex. And of course Emergence Cave. They're pretty much identical to the regular Dwarf Bullborbs, except they're more like underutilized. I'm gonna just go ahead and put them right below those guys. So now we have wait, this is the Dwarf Spotty Bullbear. Dwarf Spotty Bullbears are fine. Low C tier, but yeah, Spotty Bullbear right there. I've already given my thoughts on it, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be the Dwarf because of the teeth, proportions. Yeah, alright. Dwarf Spotty Bullbear is fine. They're just annoying when they're following around a regular one, and easy enough to deal with when they're alone. Pretty similar to the other dwarfs. Now we got silly little jellyfish dude, who I don't really know why it exists, but it's there, I guess. Just another water enemy. It's better than Funny Fish Shoot, at least. It's pretty fun to fight. I'd say low B tier. Swarming sheer grubs are just barely making it out of F tier because at least they don't kill your Pikmin, but they do get really annoying sometimes. Swooping Snitch Bug is going to be a high D tier because it's just annoying to deal with, especially before you get the Pluckaphone. Titan Dweevil we skip. Toady Boister, we're going to put you in low C tier, just above the male sheer grub, because it's annoying to fight them in Pikmin 2 because you can't really walk onto them, and especially with GameCube controls, it takes a little while to actually land on their tail. And then, of course, they just shake you off, so. Now we got the Waddlepuss, it's the Waddlepuss. High A tier. I love the Waddlepuss so much. It isn't super lethal to your Pikmin, I don't think. It's pretty satisfying to throw Pikmin at it, and it's adorable. Just such a precious little guy. Water Dumple, high D tier. It's weirdly tanky, but you can fight it well enough with rocks and purples in 2 and 3 respectively. It feels like an enemy you would need to use blue Pikmin for, but it doesn't really have any water trace, it just lives near water. And I mean, whenever you do need to use blue Pikmin for it, it's just annoying to deal with because it eats your Pikmin pretty fast. Watery Blowhog is less utilized than the Fiery Blowhog, but it's just as fun to fight. Low B tier, above the Bronit. The Whip-Tongue Bullborb is actually really interesting. I like fighting it quite a bit because there's not really much it can do as long as you're actually fighting. It's a pretty average threat, and I think that's really cool. A tier. Below the Crush Splat. Now we, of course, have the names of some enemies that I won't be saying because I heard that they're really similar to some slurs or something, but yeah, we got silly little guy number 1 who's gonna go in high B tier, just barely not making A tier because it's annoying to fight when it's not on land. This guy who's going in F tier because I hate you, and yellow guy I have better experiences with, but still not great experiences, going in C tier. And it looks like that's the tier list. I hit my mic. So yeah, reflecting on this, there's not too much I'd change. Obviously, we have Volatile Dweevil at number whatever, and we have the Bulbmin at number 1 because I just love Bulbmin in general. Everything about them. Bulbmin as an enemy are kind of annoying, but I mean, they're still Bulbmin. Then we got whatever this is. If anyone wants to like let me know what this guy is supposed to be, then just let me know in the comments below. And of course we got Breadbug right here. And you know what? I might as well put the bosses on here completely independently from my boss tier list, which was made a while ago. But I'll just slap them in on a whim. Armored Cannon Beetle. Solid like top of B tier. It's pretty fun to fight. Actually, low A tier above the Mitites. Beady Longlegs. Mid B. Pretty easy fight. This guy is pretty fun. Burrowing Snagret is, of course, a classic. Gonna be like mid S tier. Giant Breadbug could be better, but still not bad. A tier. Empress Bull Blacks. Mid C. Gulix, also pretty mid C. Manette Legs, bottom of F tier for obvious reasons. Not bottom of F tier. Let's move it up like it's below the Groink. I was too harsh on the Bulborb larvae, honestly. I'll move him to above the Desiccated Skitterleaf. Pileated Snagret, bottom of C tier. I don't like it too much. It's easy enough in its first fight, but second fight, way too tanky. Emperor Bulblax, I'm gonna be honest, I don't like the final boss fight of Pikmin 1, and it's just kind of a pushover in 2, so right below the Empress. Plasm Wraith is gonna be, honestly, pretty high A tier, right above the Crush Blat. Only thing keeping it out of S tier is the fact that it can literally just be cheesed with rocks. Puffstool, high D tier, it's just way too easy. Myrquops, bottom of B tier. It's a fun fight, but I've always just found it annoying. Raging Longlegs, pretty mid B tier. I just love fighting it so much. Ranging Boister is going to be right below the Toady Boister because it's more annoying. Well, right above, it has a fun gimmick. Mearslug's going to be top of B tier because it's I don't know, just something about fighting a giant slug that spits sand is just so fun. Scornet Maestro was a really creative fight, gonna be our second S tier. Yeah, keep it above the Snagret. This guy is obviously gonna be another low F tier. I hate fighting the segmented Crobster. Shaggy Longlegs is gonna be, in the Springtrap suit because Matthew Lillard got casted as William Afton. Seriously though, mid-C tier. It's more annoying to fight than Beady Longlegs. It just takes longer to pull out all the hairs. Smoky Prog I've never fought before, is the thing. But from what I've heard, it's either a really tough boss fight, or coming from RJ, it's easy enough if you, like, just do it right. What I get from Smoky Prog is just like the fact that it's this really tough optional challenge, and, you know, it's really recognizable because it's the first spirit in World of Light for some reason. I don't know. I'm gonna go ahead and just say, like, mid-high C tier. Titan Weevil is a really cool fight. It's tough, but it's still really interesting. I'm gonna put it right below Whip Tongue. Behemoth Fosbat's a really fun fight, too. I'm gonna put it, just below Wattlepuss. And the Water Wraith, I'm gonna put in low D tier, just barely making it at F, because it is a really cool concept. And that is the list. I wonder how long this video is gonna be. I've been recording for over 40 minutes now. There's gonna be quite a bit that I cut out, but yeah, this is the list. This was a fun video to make and was also really taxing on my voice, and my throat hurts now. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video and are enjoying Pikmin, then go ahead to make sure and subscribe if you've made it this far. And like the video, comment below how, you know, wrong I am about all of this stuff, because I made it on a whim. I did not put, like, any thought into this beforehand. I just, like, came in here with a few good ones in mind, and whatever this guy is, and obviously, you know. But yeah, that's about it. This video's been fun, but it's over now. So until next time, this is Shoot Kapow, over and out. Now, this would be fine if there wasn't an Anodweedle. No, that's an arachnode. That's a completely different spider. This would be fine if there wasn't an arachnode required to kill. You know, now I'm really glad I didn't make a tier list, like, ranking video of this, because that'd be annoying. Below the dweevils, I don't like Orange Bullborb, especially that part in Wistful Wild. Not Wistful Wild, I can't get my auto level straight. Which, come to think a bit, well, I'm not thinking too much, and I'm running out of time a little more. I've got something to do here in a second. Hi, blooper reel, by the way. My voice hurts so much, I probably should have, like, warmed up or drank something for this. But anyway, back to the tier list. I don't know, it feels like a Pikmin. It's not a Pikmin, though. It feels like an enemy that you would need to use water pick. I'm going to die. Not bottom of S tier. Definitely not bottom of S tier. I hate this thing.